Hey, Dan, thanks for coming into the studio today. So nice to have you.
It's so good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Dan, we actually met at cooking camp. How many years have you been going to that? And do you have any good recipes you've made or bad recipes you've made?
So cooking camp has been a big part of my life for 5 years. Been going to the cooking classes that they have every month, 7 years, I'd
wow.
say. Yeah. So a lot of recipes, but if I had to pinpoint one good one, it would be homemade pasta. You don't know how good pasta is until you make it yourself. You get the egg and you roll it with the flour and okay, it's kind of hard to make. I'm not gonna lie, because you put it through this pasta making machine that flattens it out, right?
Mhm.
But if it's too thick, then it's not gonna cook right. So it has to be almost paper thin, but if it's too paper thin, it's gonna break. So we had to
Wow.
remake ours 2 or 3 times, but it was good. It was really good. Don't get me wrong. I just will never make it again.
All right, bad recipes.
Bad recipes.
I think we all know the bad recipe.
Since we went to cooking camp this past year together, we tried something called golden milk for the European breakfast day.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. The most
So bad.
disgusting thing.
Please explain to me what golden milk is.
For those of you who don't know, golden milk is you put milk in a saucepan, you heat it up, you put spices in the milk,
Oh,
and you think, oh, what do you do next? You drink it. Milk with spices.
just straight milk with spices?
Yeah, like turmeric, cumin, cinnamon, salt, and pepper.
Oh my gosh.
It is so
that sounds
bad.
disgusting.
Disgusting. I'm not saying that it's not worth a try,
Mhm.
but if you
It's not
if you
worth
don't if you want to enjoy your meal, I wouldn't try it. But if you're adventurous, go for it. Yeah.
It is so bad. All right, Dan, how many years have you been in band? And you marched up in 8th grade, right?
Right, I did.
All right. Do you have
So-
any stories about that?
Yeah, so this would be my 6th year in band, the program. 4th year, since I was a march up in 8th grade, I've been marching that year and 3 years of high school. But I'd say my best moments on the field have just been being with the people who love the program. And my section, the clarinet section, it's pretty much not almost, it's all girls. So it's very different being with 30 girls and 2 other guys who have your back, because they're always ragging on you,
Yeah.
and then
Right.
you've barely got any support behind your back. But they're great. They're really good teachers. And this year I'm a section leader, so I'm that teacher.
Yeah.
And so I've just thought about who's taught me in the past years and how I want to lead that. But my favorite moments in band have been either when we're not doing any drill, or one section is doing drill and we're all just sitting down playing heads up on the field in the grass in our sets, or there was this one time last year, let me tell you, we were just doing some gymnastics moves,
Yeah.
or something, just for fun, and I split my pants
Oh my
at the
gosh.
field. It was so bad. 3 people were by me and they formed a circle around me to protect me. And then we walked back to my bench, or the clarinet bench, and I
Yeah.
sat down, and the field captain, the brass field captain, came over and he
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, are you okay? You're usually not sitting out for a run." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm fine." But I just don't want people seeing people standing behind me. Let's just say that. And the videographer for band came over as well, and he had his camera with him. He's like, "What's going on here?" And I said, "Mr. Bob, you might want to turn off the camera."
Can
And
you please go away?
I stood up and I showed them my pants, and they said, "Oh my gosh!" My section leader had already gone back to get an extra pair of shorts that she had in her car. And oh my gosh, those shorts were too big. So I was holding them with my life while we were marching, because if they fell, it was over.
That
My
would have been
career
a
was
very,
ending.
very bad day.
No, but it was a good day. It ended up being a good day. Let's just say that.
So
So funny.
obviously band is a very important part of your life.
Yeah.
So I also heard that you volunteer for your church. What's that like? You have any stories from that?
Yeah, I love working with my church as well. It's same thing with that community,
Yeah.
but it's different because as I've gotten older, I've gotten to know more of the older community in my church and like their lives, listening to their stories as opposed to just like, oh, my youth group and people I've gone to Sunday school with.
Mhm.
So they've introduced me to opportunities to volunteer there. But one big thing that I've done with my family is we've gone to this men's center
Yeah.
like downtown where they have to interview to get in. It's men who have been like off the streets and have had a hard life, but they take them in, they go through an application process and they find them jobs, they give them housing, they just provide them meals, and it's just a great program that we've been so blessed to have like found to that we could help with. So what we do for our church is the Knights of Columbus makes like a big meal,
Yeah.
and then like people who volunteer, they bring a side dish or like a dessert or something.
Mm.
And then what we do is we go, we help set up, and we serve the men their meal. And it's just like fun. You get
Yeah.
to talk to the dudes, you get to listen to their stories. My favorite meal that we've had there though, there was this like pork tenderloin at Christmas time because all the meals are like themed around the holiday because we go
Okay.
once a month. And my favorite meal was giant tenderloin wrapped in bacon, put on top of mac and cheese. You get the little like sauce that the meat's been cooked in.
Mhm.
And you have brownies for dessert. Like
Oh my
this isn't
gosh.
some like soup kitchen where you just get a bowl and pass by. No, we make it good. So they're always happy to see us, and we always love to talk to them.
That's amazing. Do you have any cool stories from that?
Yeah, just some of the guys like some of them are just like me. Like they had siblings back
Yeah.
home and they like did all this stuff in high school. And so like it's really interesting to know like we're really not all different. And there's this one guy who was like he had come from East Asia, I believe, and he had been
Mhm.
traveling everywhere and he had just ended up here. So like we got a picture with him. He got to post it on his
Aw.
Instagram. It was so cool
That's
and we saw all
amazing.
that stuff
Sweet.
that he did.
What are some other important things to you?
Definitely my family. Like I said, I've
Mm.
been doing that with them for a while. I have 3 siblings. They're all older than me. So being the youngest, you know how that is.
I know how that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My community, being out with friends, stuff like that. Yeah, my values.
Do you have any fun stories about being the youngest of 4?
Yes, I do. Yeah. There are many fun stories. I would say I'm the fun one because I'm the youngest, so like I provide the most entertainment for them,
Yeah.
especially since my oldest sister is 9 years older than me.
Oh my
So
god.
like we had a pretty big age gap, but like I would still beat her at Mario Kart and stuff. It was fun. But yeah, learning all the stuff that my siblings had done, like had taught me mainly like sports and games and how to like be a good person. But my favorite story, oh, when I was younger, I would apparently I don't remember this at all, but I would unlock the door, like the front door, and I would run out into the road, and they would always have to watch me because I would just lay in this. I don't know. I would always just like lay in the street, and they had to get a chain lock on top, and they always had a
Oh my
one of my
gosh.
siblings watch me. I guess that's the good thing about having a bunch of siblings because they can always have a rotating guard.
Yeah.
But I don't know why that would be like a fun story. I don't even remember.
You going to lay in the street is definitely a fun story.
Yeah, not for my parents. No.
I bet
Um,
not.
But no, we always went to like church events and like
Mhm.
back to school splash up their musical together. We always hung out. But they're all in college right now, so it's just me
It's just you.
making memories by myself.
Oh, that was kind of sad.
It's not. No one. My parents are nice.
Okay, going back to church, I heard of you gave up your bed for 40 days for Lent. What was that like?
Yeah, that was a rough patch. But we have to give up or do something for ourselves for 40 days during the
Mhm.
period of Lent, which is the period before Easter. So I used to give up stuff like chocolate or cookies or ranch dressing. That was a bad year. And, I gave up my bed this past year because I felt like, I can do it. I
Yeah.
got it. Man, that was tough. You ever think you come home from like a bad day at school and you're like, man, I just want to like crash in my bed. I want to like read a book, want to be comfy. No, I was on the floor
No.
on my
You have to
carpet
sit next
with a
to your
blanket
bed.
and a pillow. Yeah, I was literally staring at my bed like, if only. We have cheat days kind of on
Yeah.
Sundays. So that was last year. That was the 40-day period where I had gone to the beach with my youth group and to Disney World with the band and Disney
gosh.
floors, Disney hotel floors. I wouldn't trust them with my health personally.
yeah.
Like take like your own personal opinion. Yeah, sure. But I wouldn't. So I put a protective sheet on the floor. I
Mhm.
put a comforter like below me, a couple pillows, and then I got my blanket. So it was like technically a bed, but it wasn't a bed because we'll just say
Yeah.
it was.
It was still on the floor.
Yeah.
So
I would rather like do kind of a bed and be
Mhm.
like alive and well than conduct some disease. I don't know, but Disney's great. Don't worry, I'm not bashing Disney. And yeah, we stayed there on a Sunday. So
Okay.
like we were up at like 11:59, obviously, because why are we gonna go to bed?
right.
And we were watching Friends, and someone said, Daniel, it's 12 o'clock on a Sunday. I said, really? I jumped in the bed. Oh, it was so good to like watch Friends for 2 hours with a couple of my pals on a bed. Like
oh my god.
you don't know how good you have it until you don't have it. So yeah,
Do
that
you
was
have
my
a plan for
experience.
this year?
No.
No.
Mhm. Bed was hard. I might go a little bit harder just to see like
Yeah.
where I can take my limits, but I don't know what would be harder than giving up a bed. Cause like I need my toothbrush. I need
Yeah.
deodorant.
Right.
Like
Yeah. Please don't give up deodorant.
no, I will not.
Next is your house.
My house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will be pitching a tent.
Yeah.
I'll have a mattress. Don't worry.
Okay.
No, I'm not giving up my bed again.
Okay, so you run the social media for media. So what's that like?
Oh no, I do social events. for
Social
me.
events.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
I plan out the social events for the
Okay.
class, like outside and inside of class. So I really just get to do whatever I want, which is so much different than being behind the camera. Because I was in studio ops last year,
Yeah.
so I would run like the switcher for the interview, like cutting shots and just doing all the camera stuff. But I never really got to have much creative freedom, or
Yeah.
like I limited myself kind of because I wanted to get shots good instead of like risking it. But this year I can do so many like different things. I have a bunch of events planned out that I can't really spoil.
Oh,
But
Right.
They're
yeah,
secret.
we did volleyball this past weekend,
Mhm.
and it was really interesting because like I got to plan it how I wanted to, which involved like asking people for money, like $1 from everyone in the class.
Yeah.
And like that was just so cool how people were able like wanting to give, willing to give, and then they show up to the event and it's like everything that like they had hoped for, I hope. And
Yeah.
it was just such a great time. We played volleyball. Green team won, sadly.
It was so much fun.
It was great. We played it at like nighttime too, so it wasn't too hot. And like just seeing the success of that one, I really like made me think, oh, I can like even if I don't think it'll work out, like I can just keep going, try it out, and if people are willing to support me, then like I know it's gonna be good for them.
Yeah.
So I'll keep like trying new things. I'll keep looking at my options for other social events as well. And having that position has also been weird because I'm the only one in my department, so
Yeah.
I'm the only one planning out that stuff.
So you're just by yourself?
Yeah, like I'm by myself on a Chromebook, looking up like places to rent that aren't over $200.
Oh my gosh. So because
Yeah.
this is your third year in media, right?
Right.
Oh my
First
gosh.
year on the exec team.
Insane.
Wow. To finish this all up, what is your Spotify Wrapped looking like? Because we all know that you have a slight obsession with Kesha.
Yeah.
Just a tiny
Just a tiny bit. I'd say if you ask 1 and 2 people at this school, what my favorite song is, like one of those people would say, "Oh, TikTok by Kesha," and the other one would say, "Who's Daniel?" So like everyone who knows who I am probably knows my favorite song. I hope because I play it like every so often. Well, not every so often. Like every
day?
second, every other second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got like the lyrics down my head. I know the Just Dance. I've got it all down.
Here goes Daniel pulling out of the school parking lot listening to Kesha.
Oh yeah, everyone hears me. Windows down. But I haven't been listening to Kesha's other stuff recently. Like I need to get more into that.
Gosh.
How rude.
I know I only have like 4 of her songs downloaded. It's so bad. But my Spotify Wrapped, I'm thinking top artists are gonna be not Kesha because it's just the one song,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
Oh.
Or I mean, I still got 2 months. I can lock in. But I'm thinking Katy Perry, Bruno Mars, maybe the Eagles.
Yeah.
Because I've been listening to a lot of them lately, like when I just need to chill or study.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year, my top artist was something I do not want to talk about because of VBS and playing music for kids that kids were like.
Top song was like Baby Shark.
No. I told myself no Baby Shark, no Cocomelon.
No Cocomelon.
Top song last year, I think was Physical by Dua Lipa, because that was my hype song at the time.
Yeah.
And then I think TikTok was number 2. But the year before it was number 3. Yeah, it was very close. Don't even worry.
Wow.
But my main music taste, I'd say, is 2000s pop or like 70s rock, 80s disco, all that good stuff.
80s disco.
I love me a good disco song.
Oh
like, have you ever just straight up listened to like disco music, just like randomly, like not for a party or anything? Like, it's so good.
I'm so done with disco because that was our theme for the float this year, so that's all they played.
Really, at the float building?
Yes, that was
Oh my
all
gosh.
they played.
At our float building, they played white girl bangers, even though our theme was Crazy Train, but they didn't want to play Crazy Train like multiple times.
On loop.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was just white girl banger, cue up Crazy Train, white girl banger, Crazy Train.
That's so funny.
Gosh.
What advice do you give to students with as busy a schedule as yours?
So yeah, I do a lot. So one thing that I've really like put in my life and it's made it a lot better is be present, be where you are.
Yeah.
Like, don't be thinking about the next thing, or don't be like wondering, oh, like what if I had done this to make this event better, especially with social events. Like, I'm not gonna lie, for volleyball, I was like, oh dang, what if I like gotten here earlier and like planned out the courts and I could like manage the games better. But like it ended up turning out really well. So like if I just had to remember, stay present, be where you are, and that just made it 10 times more fun.
Mhm.
And so just anything that you're doing, like church especially, yeah, just anywhere, be where you are, and people will see that like you're fully into it, and that helps them get into it as well.
That's amazing advice.
Well, thanks for coming in today. This was fun.
It's been so fun. I loved
This was very
having
fun.
this interview.